Episode 3, we're here already. It's fast.
Back around?
Hasn't it come around quickly?
Back in. Yeah.
I thought by this point we'd have some guests, but we just chat about shit the whole time.
We're just good at waffling, to be honest.
Just waffling about a load of rubbish.
But I do want some guests. We are definitely going to get some. Probably next episode or definitely after that. But
Yeah.
I'd like next I want some guests because it's more fun because that was half and half what I wanted to do it for. But it's not to have like massive name kind of guests, but to have just normal people around us in our lives and that we just think are funny, have cool stories, whatever. They're just good people to be around, really. Just good people.
I would like to get some interesting people on that you wouldn't know sort of what they do, but when they come on they can explain things, and yeah, that'll be fun. Anyway, I haven't actually seen you really, have I?
Oh, lockdown.
Weird. Well, it's weird because I used to see you all the time, and now because of lockdown I don't ever see you really. So I haven't seen you since the last podcast. Although I watch you on Instagram, always training, going.
Oh yeah, I'm always in the gym. Yeah,
always going.
It's weird now though because I'm there on my own, pretty much. Like the only one that comes in is Hodge.
Do you know what I thought when I watch your Instagram videos? I know everyone will see them and think, "Oh, he's training a lot," but I just think you just deserve whatever you get, however far you get with boxing, you deserve it. Seriously, that sounds funny, but people don't know like the setbacks and the way I want to say it is every time that you prepare for a fight, you don't know if you're actually going to fight or not. Even though you've said to everyone, I've got a fight coming, it's planning for this date. I know the amount of times that you have somebody pull out and you have to reset and you go again. Yeah. And you just keep going with the camp. You're training twice a day, 5-6 days a week for a fight that you don't even know is going to happen. And you've done 12 weeks of training. And then all of a sudden it can just go like that. And you had that like a few times at the start, didn't you?
Yeah, at the start there was loads. Like it was ridiculous at the beginning.
Just every time you just get somebody pull out. And I know even for like the fight that you're going for now, you've had people pull out and do that, and you just keep going. So the reason I'm bringing it up is I thought, because I saw when the guy pulled out and did that, I was like, I would have stopped training at this point, or like if it was anything else, I would have been like, fuck that.
Sacked it off kind of thing.
Yeah, literally like, oh fuck, I've done 10 weeks of this and now I'm not even going to get paid, or like it's not even going to happen, what's the point? And you've had that so many times, you just keep going. I just thought, you just deserve it. Serious.
Thanks, Phil. That's nice.
Because when you get there, people won't see all that, will they? Well, they will know it now because I've said it. But
yeah, half and half. But like, I think, like weirdly actually, I was in the gym thinking about the early days when I was training on my own. Well, for the last few weeks when I have been training on my own, I was thinking about the early days when we would train together, and how much of like a 180 or a U-turn or whatever I've done in terms of training, when like there would be days before where we'd obviously have a plan. You'd be coaching me, managing me, whatever, and we'd have a plan, a schedule set up. And if for whatever reason, if your own choice, you decided you didn't want to train today, that meant I wasn't training either. By me, like I would decide, oh well, if Phil's not training, I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not doing it on my own. And then it was just, I was like probably I was in the gym at like, I don't know, like 10 or whatever on a Sunday night, and I stopped for a second. I thought there was a time where there'd be no way, whatsoever I would do this. And that, to be fair, that was something I thought about, and that I wanted to kind of, maybe not, well, I guess talk over a bit, but that like, that's what I think a massive part of maybe boxing is that you, as cliche as it sounds, you need to be able to do it without anyone there. Like I was thinking, if I didn't have like you or whoever, or like Danny who does my programming and stuff now, and if I didn't have Hodge or whatever or something like that, like I would still go to the gym and train. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't train very well, I wouldn't know what I'm doing, but I would still do the work kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas like I know from, well, you know from before as well, from being around me and that, there were days where like, nah, just not doing it.
Yeah, I think that comes with maturity, but also I think you see it differently now to how you used to, because your mindset at one point, and I think with a lot of boxers, and maybe this would actually help people, was like, I think boxing as a sport is camp, fight, crash. Just disappear for a month, 2 months, camp again, you got another fight set up, you grind, you go, disappear. And And like, there's no other sport in the world that really do it like that. Like most sports do it in seasons, so like annually. But I think now you see it as more of like it's just a process.
Yeah.
So even though you've got your camps, and correct me if I'm wrong, even though you've got your camps and you're building towards the fights, you see it as more of like, well, I'm building my overall strength and fitness because it's going to help on the next fight and the next fight.
Yeah, see, that was what I realised early on. Like, back in them early days as well, when, like, I would do that. Like, so, for one, if you, like, weren't there or said you weren't training, I weren't going to the gym, so I was skipping sessions.
Yeah.
And I'd feel no way about it whatsoever. And then the other half of it was that when, like, say, the end of a camp, so I have got through, I've done it, I've had the fight thing, then I'd be gone. I'd be gone for, like, near on months at a time.
Do you think that's needed still now?
No. So I learned early on. That's where that came from as well, where you say like it's about building your body. That I learned that. So when you take them big gaps, them big gaps, your body goes to zero. Like if you think of yourself as like, I don't know, like some sort of a stat or building up, whatever.
Top trump.
Yeah, whatever. You're building up all your stats or whatever through the camp, through the cup, getting stronger, getting faster, getting fitter, whatever. And then you do the fight, cool, you're at your peak. And then if you do that thing where you just disappear for a month, 2 months, whatever, you're back down to zero. And then what that means, and then instead of moving, so for your next fight or whatever, instead of being ahead of where you were before, now you're still at zero again, you're starting again. And I did realise that because I remember like going into camp after that big break and then thinking, who the fuck am I? Like, I remember being fit, I remember being strong, I could do that, I could do this, and then now I'm just like, nothing.
Now that you're training by yourself most of the time, especially with your S&C or your conditioning work, do you miss that, like, competitive... Because I love training by myself, but then also when I'm training with people, it's like competitive and you get that extra push.
Yeah.
And I know we used to push each other, especially on our conditioning piece, we'd be going, or how much can you deadlift, bench press,
Yeah.
Do you miss that now? Or because you've got a program, you're just like, no, just crack on, do this, do that?
I miss the moments when like it's inevitable that those days will come where you're just not there. You're not in the mood, you're not flowing, everything's not clicking right, and you're just not really there for it. I'll do it anyway, but I'm just not there. And I miss those days of having like you next to me just going, fucking do it.
Come on,
pick up,
yeah.
let's go. You're stopping too much rest. You're chilling out too much. Come on, keep moving, keep moving.
It's not even that, is it? You don't even have to say it. When you're training with somebody, you don't have to say it. The fact that you're resting, they've started their set, you're like, oh God, they're on. Fuck, he's gone again, now I've got to go.
Yeah.
Or
literally.
like on the conditioning, you know you could back off that 10%. But they're on the same calorie as you, and they're still pushing it. And you're both in your head. You're like, oh, if he slows down a bit, I slow down. But you're like, no, because we're both too stubborn to lose. Like, go.
I'd like when we do like training and whatever conditioning and stuff, and we'd be on like the assault bike. I'd watch. And like I'd not measure, but see how fast you were going, and I'd see your tempo, and I'd either be with you, and if you slowed a bit, I'd be like, oh, I can slow for a second, for a second. All right, it's picked up again. I've got to go again. Like
the best ones for me are where we've got like different exercises through the workout, and you're a little bit faster on the bike because you know that I'm going to be a bit faster on the pull-ups, and then you're like, no, and you don't know if it's fast enough or not, but you're like trying to keep on. And you're just holding on for as much as you can.
Yeah, I like because that's the thing, because we've trained together for so long that we know that all right, on the bike I can get you a bit more there. I can get a bit more. I can get through that quicker. But then on like pull-ups, you're gonna bang them out a lot quicker than me or whatever. Like, so it's funny that you learn those little things and then when we come to the end and do the whole thing, I'm like, right, cool. So I need to make sure I'm ahead on that bit at least, because then when we get to there, I know I'm gonna fall behind a bit, and and it's just funny that that's how you see it.
But the amount of, and it's not preaching, but the amount of hours that we've spent doing that over and over. Because something that I thought about the other day actually is, I have sort of a rough idea as to how much boxers at the top level get paid to fight. And I'm like, shit, like that's a lot of money, you know? I'm like, that's crazy. I'd get punched in the face for that much money. And I said that to somebody, but then... And they were like, yeah, you know, I'd get knocked out for that. I'd get knocked out for 50k or whatever, you know? Yeah. But, and this links back onto something else that I want to talk about. You don't get paid for the rounds that you're in that fight.
No.
you get paid for everything you've done beforehand, don't you? So when you're getting paid, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000, more, you're paid for every bit of training that you've done before, and every fight, every media like press conference, every bit of like social media, things like that. It just adds up and adds up. And I, a couple of years ago, actually had this conversation with somebody, and it was one of my ex's like parents actually, but he had a great business. He's really successful, and I went to him and I was talking to him about how much I was charging per hour for work. And I know it's different, but like I used to be really reserved in how much I charge, or like work loads of hours, charge little money. And I said to him, I was like, I don't feel like I could charge that much money. Like, to put it into perspective, 6 years ago, I was working in a fish and chip shop for £3. £3.40 started on an hour. 6 years ago.
Kiddie wage.
And then when I started PTing, I was like, £10 an hour, that's incredible. £10 an hour, you know?
It's funny,
that's
isn't
insane. And then I started doing private work, like £15. I used to go into work at 5:30 for £15, £20 an hour. And then like quickly it grows and grows. And you have to keep bumping up as you learn and you go. And I was basically, the reason I said this is I was basically saying to him, I don't feel like I can charge that much money, because how can somebody pay me an hour that much money when I used to earn £3 an hour?
Yeah.
And then when you think of that in boxing perspective, I'm like, they're getting paid, I mean, like millions an hour.
Yeah.
But the reason this comes around is he said to me, you're not paid for that hour. You're paid for everything you've done before. You're paid for all the hours that you've trained. You're paid for all of the things that you've learned.
That you can then bring there.
And you can bring that into the hour.
It's not about... It's funny because you don't know like the top of your mountain almost until you're there, and then you realise, oh no, wait, there's way more. Like, yeah, you think, oh yeah, £10 an hour, mate, I'm swimming in it, like I'm making it, I'm doing it, and then you get there, and then you're like, hang on, I can get more out of this. And it's the same with like anything. Like it comes with that, like you don't want to be too far ahead of yourself, and then out of nowhere just starting charging like £100 an hour, whatever, something stupid. But you also you're trying not to undervalue yourself at the same time, and it's about finding that kind of happy medium and having that belief in yourself that if someone wants that service, they'll pay for. The perfect example of this is I don't know if it's perfect actually, but either way, if someone wants something, they'll pay for it ultimately. Yeah, a perfect example: the new Xbox came out the other day. I obviously love it. I love my Xbox. I play it all the time. I missed the pre-orders earlier in the month because I didn't take it seriously, to be honest. I didn't think it'd be this mad. Like there was
are they out? Are they sold out? Are they? Why do you have to pre-order to?
So the pre-orders came out maybe 3-4 months ago. Yeah. And ready for the release date was on Xbox Series X. Ready for the release day, and ready for the release day on like Tuesday or whatever. So I missed all that, didn't get one, and for the last few weeks I've been hunting for one anywhere. Could not find a sniff of one. They're sold out absolutely everywhere. I was like, do you know? I messaged you when you was up sending me them hunting videos. I told you why I was up because I was like messaging like Currys and PC World and Twitter and stuff.
Trying to get an Xbox.
Trying to find them on that and like just seeing if anything was going on. Couldn't find a thing. Basically, what I'm saying is, I paid
silly money.
Yeah, basically. In short, the Xbox came out for just under £500, I think.
Yeah.
I paid a lot more than that.
Nice. We'll leave it at a lot more.
I paid a lot more than that just to
get it because
I found it privately and someone was selling it. And ultimately, my point is, if you want something, you will pay for it.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I guess as you're, in terms of us, as we're building as like professionals, so as you're building as boxer, and hopefully I'm building as a PT, if we can sell that for more each hour. It's just scary, like, in quite a considerable short amount of time, you're going to go from charging however much for a fight, charging's a weird word because it's paid differently, but charging this much for a fight, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll do the same with PT, is you start at this much and you build it up. And it can be scary to put that money on, but when you do, you, like, feel your worth for it as well. In a weird way, it makes me enjoy my work more as well. I feel like I want to do it. because I'm like, yes, that.
Yeah, because you feel like you're getting you don't feel like you're being shafted in any way. You feel like you're getting your worth for it.
Yeah.
Like you feel like I'm getting what, like I enjoy my job and you do as well, but no matter what it is, like it's hard to do something when you're getting absolutely zero from it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you can do a certain amount of free work, but when we go from it being our hobbies to our work, so I would work for free. I would coach for free for like 2 or 3 hours a week.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know? But when it gets to the point where I have to turn up even when I don't want to be there necessarily, and it's now it's a job, then you're going to have to pay me for it, you know? So for me, like, yeah, that's the difference.
That's when the fee of it comes in, that you have to like...
Because it's the same for you. If you could box whenever you want and just did it as a hobby, but you can't do that. You have to be there every day to train, to box. You have to go to your media stuff, which you don't necessarily want. I mean, sometimes, but not always.
Yeah.
You know? You have to post on social media. You have to make sure that you're trying to build up fights and
the interest and do all the right bits that go along with it.
Happy birthday to your mum as well. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Good old mum.
I see that every year. And you posted a different photo this year. You normally post your background photo.
Yeah.
But I always love it when you post that photo of your mum, because you guys are like not oddly, but like
I know what you
people
mean.
are close to their mums, but you guys are different. I've met your mum a couple of times. She's lovely. And I see why you are the person that you are, because you...
Comes from her.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of me comes from her, yeah. Massively. And that's what
do you think you have a particularly close relationship with her?
Yeah, massively.
In comparison to like other people?
Yeah, massively. I find it borderline weird that people don't have the same relationships with their mum that I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what. I see my mum as like everything, like be all and end all.
Yeah, same.
Where a lot of people have very estranged relationships with them. But then I can understand in my particular circumstance why I'm obviously a lot closer to my mum.
Yeah, I'm a mummy's boy. I'm particularly close to my mum, but I don't think it's the same as yours, just because of the circumstance. But yeah, when I see your like mum at your fights, I always say hi. Well, I just think she's great.
Yeah,
she's a wicked lady.
She is good, and I love my mum for a lot of reasons. But she's such a genuine person as well. She's like, I'd always hate to have like a boring mum. But my mum's like mental.
Your mum's like your mate as well.
Yeah, she is. She's like my mate, but she's nuts at the same time. Like everyone knows my mum to be like the loud one, or she's not quiet, or she's not shy, and I would not hate it, but I just feel like I enjoy it more that she is that person, that people know her to be that person and be loud and be like nice and welcoming to everyone. And
do you think your mum is like the Lord of the house?
No.
Oh.
Lord.
Do you think she's like? Do you think she runs the house?
Well, yeah, I guess she does. But whose mum doesn't run the house?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some people's mums don't run the house, definitely.
Okay, yeah, some people. But
do you, when you go to like friends or girlfriends' houses and you see family? Sorry, not girlfriends, like as in girlfriend.
Don't have any girlfriends. What are you on about?
When you go to their houses, do you look at like their families and think, "What? That's not my family." Never.
Yeah.
Ever.
But my family is very different.
Your family's wicked.
My family is very different for a variety of reasons. But like my family, my upbringing, just all of it is just very.
That was eye-opening to me actually to see your family.
Not down the thing. Eye-opening. What do you mean?
Just I think all families would do stuff for each other, but to a point, you know? Or like, no, not even to a point. I don't know what the right word is, but like, you guys are so close, and not even family, and family to you doesn't mean the people that you're related to blood-wise. No. Your family is like, I don't want to say any names, but I know like guys that you consider family that aren't even the same colour skin as you, and and they're like 5'2", and they're just shrimpy, and I'm like, what?
Hang on, what?
What? He's not your... But, it's family's different, isn't it?
Like, to us, and the family, like, family is those people that you would go to the full ends of whatever for, and they would come with you, be there right next to you, and they'd do the same for you kind of thing. That's family to us, and, like, There's people that we've like that have like not around us anymore or part of family just because of they weren't them people. Like we as a family surround ourselves with people that we know.
You weed out the weak ones. Yes,
Like you're weak.
I have like friends, and this sounds really bad, but I don't see it in a bad way. I have friends who I'm like really good friends with, but I think if push came to shove, they would look out for themselves, and I would look out for myself.
Yeah.
You know, that's different to family, isn't it?
Yeah. Massively. Yeah. And I have like a minimal level of those people around me.
What friends?
Yeah, those type of friends.
Really?
Like I have the inevitable. So I have friends, close friends. Like they're my guys, they're my boys, the ones I'm cool with and whatever. And obviously part of that is the extension of the friends of friends and whatever. Yeah. And that's something that like is just there. Like you can't really. I can't do anything about that. But the people that are immediately around me that I speak to on a regular basis or whatever, they're my people, they're my boys or whatever else, because I wouldn't have no one else around me like that. Because what for? I see it as like no benefit. I don't get anything from it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a benefit. It can just be fun.
No.
Some people.
Like if I feel like, especially with again my family, and the life I've had and whatever.
Yeah.
I need certain people around me.
Yeah.
They have to be those type of people.
Yeah, and that's different though. So like for me, my immediate family, I think I would do anything for, and they would do anything for me. But outside of that, I can't think of like I can think of a few people, but I can't think of many people that would put me before them, and not even in a nasty way. Like I expect that, you know. Like I think to some extent, if somebody's not your family, they should look out for themselves, because we're all looking out for ourselves, like to some degree. And actually, when you find somebody that isn't like that, they're incredible. There are some weird people out there, not weird, like not normal people out there. And I can think of a few. Like there's a couple at the gym who, like, I used to have a client who she'd just look after me all the time, and we've got like one of our close friends.
George.
Is like that, you know? They just look after people, like...
She's just, that's her thing, is just to... Like, you have to almost be careful what you say around her, because if you say, oh, I'm hungry, and you're just speaking in passing, if we're just, like, even in the middle of training going, oh, mate, I'm quite hungry, and George hears it, within, like, half an hour, she's gone to the shops, come back. Like, the other day, didn't you have a full pack A full pack lunch out of nowhere?
Crazy. It only took me a couple of minutes to make. Yeah, but... Yeah, but you just made me a full pack lunch. Like
what?
Incredible.
Off, like,
and that actually saved me, and I felt so grateful in that moment. But there are people that are like that. There are people, and I don't want to like say their like names, but I can think of a few now that like will just help. And I think you have to go. Do you have to go through things to be like that? I feel like those people have been through situations where they've needed someone like that, and now they just do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think they know, because I think you have to go through that experience to know how nice it feels for someone just to, they have no motive, they have no interest, they want nothing from you. All they want is for you to be all right, or in whatever sense that be. Whether it's just as easy as like giving you a lift, or like helping you with this, or like you say, just dropping you off some food, something small. Like I have I know the people around me that I can call on, which I think you need.
Yeah. But so my point is that those people that we just spoke about will do it for like almost anyone, which is weird. Like
that's the bit I won't do.
Yeah, I've had like clients that will like, I don't like. The first one that comes to the top of my head is I had like a client who was a nurse, and she would like helped me do my blood, and like she didn't have to do it at all, but she just came in and did it, and like that's not her work. Like she's not at work at that time. Like she doesn't have to at all, but just like. And she would do that for anyone. I know she'd do that for anyone. She's just weirdly nice.
Just nice. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Isn't she?
And the same. She does loads of stuff for me as well. Just like, for no real reason other than she's just a really nice person. Really nice. And just like looks out for you.
Yeah. Those people are incredible. But I think also that they can be easily taken advantage of. And that's why I'm not like that way. Like almost, that sounds a bit sad, doesn't it?
No, because I think it's like I know the people I would do those things for. Like you could call me at any point,
Yeah.
and if
Yeah.
I see the phone ring or whatever, I'll answer it. If you need my help, I'm there. Like with whatever you need. But there's certain people I know that, to be honest, they probably wouldn't call me because they know I'm not bothering. But
I'm not fucking calling fam.
but if so and so calls me and they're not like to me like that and they want my help, I'm like, bro, I've got stuff on. I've got things to do. Maybe if I've got nothing going on, which is highly unlikely. Maybe if I'm completely free and I've got a spare moment, cool. But if I've got if I even need to take my dog for a walk, I'm doing that before I'm bothering with you.
I think also, when you know the person, you know at how serious a situation has to be for them to call you asking for your help.
Yeah.
And when you know when you know a person like that, then when they do call you, you're like, okay.
Prime example. This is so.
Just don't put names in.
No names. Basically, a good friend of mine.
No.
Nah, a good friend of mine. So where would I? I don't know. Whatever. It was late at night, basically. Late at night.
I hope this is a fun one. I've got a funny one.
Nah, well you can go after. Mine's half fun. It was probably about, I don't know, 1 in the morning-ish, something like that.
That's good time.
A while ago as well, probably about 1.5 2 years ago, something like that. And I got a call at about, well, actually prior to this, I was up and ready. I was now just about to get into the shower because I was off to go on a
shopping trip.
Little adventure.
Yeah, shopping trip.
At 1 in the morning. So I was literally just getting in the shower to go get ready and go. And then I got a call just before the shower saying, I need you to come grab me. Something's happened and I need to go to the hospital. And I was like, I was like,
at 1 in the morning, something's happened.
At 1 in the morning, I got a call and I was like, and you know, it was exactly what you just said. And you know when someone calls you at that time and you can hear in their voice that like...
And you know them.
Whatever, yeah, and you know them and whatever going on is genuine. Then I have to...
You have to cancel your shopping trip.
I have to cancel my shopping trip. I had to cancel my shopping trip and then go get them and take them to the hospital, sit in the hospital with them until they got seen, got sorted and stuff, and then took them home and made sure they're alright and that. But like, they're just...
That is so good.
Where's your friend? That's what you got to do, isn't it?
Mine's not as serious, but I had, a long time ago now, but one of my best mates growing up, I'm still good mates with him. I remember it so clearly because I was asleep in bed and my phone was going off, and this was like, maybe like 7 years ago, I don't know, but he'd rang me. It was about 3 a.m. in the morning. My phone was going off and he was ringing me, and he never rings me. I was like, why?
You know the ones that always, when you see a certain name, you go, you never ring me. What's going on here?
And I answered it, and he didn't say anything like greetings. He said, "It's happening." He goes, "It's happening. It's happening." I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" He was like, "Phil, it's happening. I'm gonna lose my virginity." He was like, "Have you got any condoms? Have you got any condoms?"
It's happening.
Yeah, he's like, "It's happening. It's happening. I'm gonna lose my virginity." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Have you got any condoms? Have you got any condoms?" I was out of my bed so fast. Yeah, man, I got condoms. I'll be round. Where are you? And I swear to God, I got condoms, and I was about to like blitz round to just sort him out. It was so funny.
That's so good.
And then he rang me. He was like, "Oh, don't worry, I've sorted it, man. I've got some." And she had some, but I was like, he was a virgin.
That's so funny. It's happening.
Phil, it's happening. It's happening. I was like, what's happening?
Okay, no.
I'm going to lose my virginity. I haven't got any condoms. Bring me some condoms. And I was just like, straight up. I was asleep. Not even a second's thought. I just got up.
No hesitation.
Crazy.
That's so funny. But there's only there's certain people you do that for because you just like...
I vividly remember it now. That's some madness. That was so long ago.
That's so good.
I vividly remember that. Odd. Right. Switch the conversation.
What are we swapping to?
My biggest thought this week, okay? I saw an old teacher of mine. This is going to sound weird, but it's something I've been thinking about. I saw an old teacher of mine, and I'd had this conversation with him like just after I left school, but seeing him made me think of it. When I was at school, people would always tell me that school is the best days of your life. Did you ever get told that?
Yeah. Everyone, adults, everyone
School's
tells
the
you.
best days of your life. You love school. And I
know where you're going.
I didn't hate school, but I wasn't that impressed by it. And all I thought, serious, I was like,
wasn't that impressed by it.
How I would say is that I felt like I understood school before most people were meant to understand it. And that sounds really funny, but I would be like in school. You know when you're in school and you feel like, as you move through school, you feel like every teacher's like, no, maybe not, this isn't the right way to say it, but you feel like teachers are there for you and they want you to do well and stuff. Well, I quickly realised that teachers had jobs for 15 years and they'd seen 15 lots of students go through, and actually they were just moving students through every year, you know? They just, like, you're just a student that they've seen 100 times before. You're not special, you're the same student that they just want you to get the grades.
So you don't feel that any teachers had any particular interest in you?
Well, if you're a teacher for 10 years...
But...
No, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of students felt like school was really important and, like, they had to do well. And, you know, when you were doing your exam, you feel like that's the only thing going on in the world.
Yeah.
But I just felt like everyone had done this before, you know, like every year before me had done this. So many kids do this. Everyone, like, it's just a thing people go through. And so for me, I just felt like I was outside of the system looking in, like just standing over school, just being like, this is kind of shit. And I just didn't like being told what to do, when I had to do it, how I had to do it. And now that I don't do that, now that I can plan my own day, it's like the best thing ever. Like when I'm out at lunch, I'm like, I'm out at lunch, like I'm driving around.
Yeah.
Everyone else
We
is like,
always
what?
do this because we always just go off and do stuff, and we always like we're off just in like the middle of the day. Like we'll train in the morning.
Yeah.
Like we always like stop for a second and think how mental our lives are. That
Like this is our job.
like we just go to the gym, train, piss about for a few hours with some people at the gym, and then we're like, hungry? Should we go get some food? And then by like 1, 2 p.m, we're just sat in like a nice little cafe, restaurant, whatever, just overlooking some fields and eating some food.
And not
like...
even that we're working less. Like we'll be back to work at 3 or 4. You'll be training again, I'll be coaching, and then we work through. So like our total work day will be the same, but we kind of have control over it.
Yeah.
And I've planned my day previously, as well as you know?
It's just the choice thing, isn't it?
Just school, and okay, so the whole reason I brought it up is when people told me that was a massive downer to me. I hated that. I was like, these are the best days of my life. You're telling me that like going to school 9 till 3:30, doing 3 lessons.
Mate, what a day.
What a day.
9 till 3:30.
Yeah, but shit.
Yeah,
I work
I think
twice
we
that
finished
now.
like 2:45.
I work twice that now, and I don't care.
But like,
but my point is, I said to my teacher, I would love to come into school and basically say to kids, and I guess I'm going to say it now. So if you're at school, like,
here's some wisdom.
School's not the best days of your life. I'm saying that now. It's just not. I love my life so much more now than I did when I was at school.
Yeah.
And I think that if people say school's the best days of their life, they haven't made the most of whatever they're doing.
I think that phrase is worded wrong, maybe.
That sounds harsh. But, well, yeah, once you start getting more responsibilities, your freedom dies down. But if you are the only person in control of your life, you know? Like, some people get really hepped up in, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, these people need this from me, these people need that from me. But at the end of the day, the only person that's managing your life is you. So, like, set it up how you want.
Side question. Do you ever wish that you had because like I think like we've said before with in another episode where we said about the we're gonna make it thing.
Yeah.
Me and you and a lot of people that we know and around us have I guess a drive that you want to be successful. It doesn't mean loads of money or whatever. It just means you want to do well in life and kind of succeed in life in whatever realm to you that makes sense. Do you ever feel like you wish you wasn't that kind of person? Do you ever wish that you just thought with whole life of just like, fuck it, I don't care what happens? Like you was just a bum, could just mong around 24/7?
No.
Do you ever find that wanting to be successful or do well in life is almost a burden sometimes?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but no, I don't. because I think the people that are burdened are the ones that can't stop. The people that can never relax and can, like, for me, if I want to stop, I'll play my computer game. I'll go and have a drink or a smoke with my friends. Like, I will just stop, you know? Like, I can switch off.
Yeah.
And so if I want to do that, I'll do that. I think the people that are burdened are the ones that are go, go, go. I can't stop working. I can't stop, moving, you know?
Yeah, I get you. I just wondered that.
So even though I think we're both driven, there are days where we'll just chill.
Yeah. Well, we'll just switch off.
And like stop.
And just like turn everything off.
And again, that goes back to like, I'm in control of whatever I do. So there's like, even though I've like responsibilities to people that I love and like, I want to look after certain people and things like that. I don't, for the most part, I don't let other people control what I'm doing. Like, I'll do what I want.
Yeah.
I learned that a lot from you, actually. I'll do what I want. I will. Because you do. You have to. You have to do what you want.
Yeah.
And the people that are too worried about other... And again, goes back to what we were saying earlier. If you're too worried about other people and their needs, you don't even sort yourself out. And then you're fucking useless to everyone, aren't you?
You have to... I always say you have to look... Like, you can't help someone if you're fucked yourself. Like, if you're not in a good headspace, if you're not healthy, you're not happy, whatever, I can't then come to you and help you with your problems because I've got 100 of my own.
Yeah.
But I always feel like if you can at least get yourself to a good place first and then do what you can for other people, then it's better. But if anything's going to put you out of joint, just don't do it.
Just
don't do it.
But you need a certain level of confidence to say...
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. A lot of people will let other people pressure them into things or let scenarios or situations or whatever's going on around them make them feel like, oh, I need to do this or I should do this or whatever. Like, there's been circumstances where people have tried to pressure me to do things and no.
You honestly,
No.
I bet you have that more than you even realise.
What,
Like, genuinely.
Trying to get me to do
Yeah,
stuff.
well, of course. And you'll have it as you go on and on and on, but your personality is ideal for that because you just don't. You won't do it. So, and I learnt that from you when I first met you, was like, if you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it.
No, like, because it's not just the sole thing of, okay, I'm putting myself through maybe half an hour of however much time frame it is of doing something I don't want to do. For that little period of time, I'm going to be annoyed. It's not just that. It's then afterwards, you're like, fuck, I've wasted my time. Oh, I did that and I didn't even want to. And it's in your head now and you're thinking about it more and you're just like, it weighs on you more than just the initial of someone getting you to do something you didn't really want to do. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more to it.
So the whole idea of like doing what you want to do, pressure and like feeling like you have to make it. I listened to a podcast, not Joe Rogan. There's a guy called Joe Delaney and his Instagram's Shred Bundy. I've shown you him before, but he looks like a meathead, like really mushy, but he's quite intellectual. Like he did like maths at university. He's travelled, got some stupid tattoos and stuff. But he does this podcast, and it was on like consequence, and it was about the youth of today, or like our generation, how important it is for our age to feel like we're going somewhere, to feel like we need. Okay, so this is how he started it. I don't want to mix his words. If you like want to listen to it, go and listen to it. It's quite cool because he's obviously thought about it and I haven't at all. But he says 50 years ago, if you were a blacksmith, it was weird for you to try and be more than that. You would be whatever you were made to be, you know? As in, like, if you're born as a blacksmith, you stay a blacksmith.
Yeah.
If you're born into a wealthy family, take over a wealthy business, Nowadays, for certain reasons, partly political, I think, partly like social media, so on, wherever you're born on the social ladder, you aspire to be like wealthy.
More.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just more. More. Wherever you're born in your star, and like initially you always want to do more.
Yeah. And he's saying that people's aspirations to be great are like awesome, you know? It's really good, you know? It's a good thing that people want to be better want to do better. But with every like good thing, there's like a consequence or like an opposite. And if you aspire to be great and then it never happens, which for most people it won't. So like for you aspire to be great and you're good at boxing and you work hard and you train hard and you're good at social media, you speak well, you're going to be good at boxing. You know, you're going to work and you're going to get there. There are 99 other people that want to be a pro boxer, and they're never going to get it. You know? And if you aspire to be a pro boxer and you never get it, it's a sad feeling.
Yeah, but I think weirdly, I get a lot of messages like this.
Yeah.
A lot of like private DMs and stuff of people saying like, "Oh, have you got any advice? I really want to do boxing. I really want to." Like I had someone the other day who messaged me saying like, "Oh, I'm at uni, but I love boxing, but I can't stop drinking and I can't stop going to parties and blah blah blah." And I said to him, I was like, "Look," and to be like a lot of the time, there's a lot, so I just don't answer him.
Yeah.
But like. And I don't answer him for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, just I don't feel like I don't know what the right word is for it, but I don't feel like I'm the guy to give you advice. Just because I'm doing okay in boxing so-and-so does not mean I can then tell you what to do with yours. I can give you a brief outline of this and that. But basically, in short, what I said to that guy, I said to him was, it's just, would you, if you did... Like the question the question I did ask myself when I like decided on boxing, I said, you know what, like fuck it, I'm gonna do it and just see what happens. That was it. I said to myself, say I do this, say I try hard and I fail in 3 years, I think I'd be more comfortable with that than trying it and giving my life to it for 3 years and fucking up and losing fights and whatever and finding out it's not for me, I'm shit, than I would in 10 years. Then living a normal life and doing an average job or something I'm not particularly happy with, and then looking back and going, oh, I could have
tried it.
I could have done, yeah, but what if I could have, and what if, like and again, it's another cliche to say, but like, it's the what if that is the worst bit for me, like the regret of it and I could have done that. Like,
yeah.
At least then if you've done it, you know the final answer. Like, oh no, I wasn't good enough.
Okay, so but this is our way of looking at it, which I think not many people do. I think we're weird in this sense, in that if you did it and failed, you'd be like, oh, I'm glad I did it and I tried. And even though you're sad, you'd be like, well, obviously I'm sad, I wanted to do it, you know?
Yeah.
But I think the thing that gets a lot of people, especially our age now, is like they do it and they fail and they think, oh, fuck. I'm like,
it's all over.
I'm sad, yeah. I haven't made it. Like, what can I do? And then all of a sudden, like, because... everyone's encouraging you to aspire, but no one ever says, well, actually, if you don't make it, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
that is true.
Like, you'll be all right, mate.
Yeah.
Just, like, it's going to feel shit.
Yeah.
But you would rather have tried and not made it than not tried. And everyone that isn't making it now is like, well, I've tried and I've got a shit job. But him on Instagram, he's got a great job. And him on Instagram, he's got a great job. Oh, fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that fucks people.
I think it's the fear, but it goes back to not letting people tell you what to do, but having such a massive, like, you put so much stock into what everyone thinks of you. I think that's where, again, we're very similar, is that we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you think what I'm doing is good or bad, or if you think I'm good at boxing, or if you think I'm shit, or whatever. I could not care less. Like, and I think you're the same.
Do you not give a shit about everything?
What do you mean?
So, is there any certain things that you don't give a shit about, like what other people think of you? So, let's say, for example, do you care about how I think of your appearance?
Not you, no.
Okay.
I couldn't give a shit whether
but
you
girls, yes.
think of my appearance.
So, would you turn up like looking like a scragger to any event that I'm at?
What events are you at?
Let me say this. My test of this is, I had to test this for myself because I thought that I didn't care what people thought. And then there was a time when I shaved my head.
I remember this story.
And I was sat there and I don't care. I don't give a fuck really about like anything. But I was sat there and I thought, oh my God, I've shaved my hair. Oh my God. And what are people going to think of me? They're going to think I'm a mug. They're going to think like, or even worse, they'll think I've just come out of prison. You know, like I looked rough.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Stop it. Like, you'll be fine. You're the same. Like, I'm the same person. I'm still, like, polite and genuine and, like, all the things that I am as a person is still there. But I've just shaved my head.
Yeah.
And, like, it was weird to me to feel that because I thought that I wasn't that person that cared that much. And that's why I had to test it. That's one of the main reasons that I did it. And
What
you were
was
like,
to test yourself?
yeah, 100%.
I bicked mine as well.
To be like, just go. Like,
Just get rid of it.
and I want to like do other shit like that. Like I want to see if I can grow a moustache and see if I care or not. It's weird.
I know they're like little testing things. You have to keep. It's like it's as much as you know yourself. You don't. You want to question yourself and go, hang on, how do we? What was I? What was I? I was listening to something from Jordan Peterson, and he was saying about how we think that we're this one whole being. That we think of ourselves as just one person. You are Phil, and that's you, and you know yourself, and I'm Fab, and I know me. Whereas we're not. We're like, we are the person of the things we do know about ourselves, but we're also all the things that we don't know about ourselves.
Yeah.
And that it's those two people in there that are still figuring each other out. I can't remember the exact wording of it, but it spun my head, and I stopped for whatever I was doing. I stopped for a second. I went, you know what? Like, that's so true, because there's so many little things that, like, you think I do to myself. I do it a lot.
Go on.
I do it a lot in training. Like, I'll give myself little testers. I'll be like, I bet you can't do that. I know you can't. You can't do that.
What, like emotional or physical?
Physical. So
No,
like,
that's different.
Nah, but I'm in my head, like on a treadmill. I'm going.
Okay, yeah.
Like I'm
push
just
yourself.
yeah. I'm going, and in my head I'm going. A bit of my head's going. We've had this conversation. Well, I guess it relates to the same thing. That like a bit of your head is going. Nah, just quit, man. Just get off. Fuck it. Just turn off the treadmill. Go sit down. And it's just literally it's in the back of your ear, just going. Now go on, just get off. Now go on, you're tired, man. Just get off.
Yeah,
like, don't
your
worry
legs
about
hurt.
it. Your leg, yeah. There's all
your
these little
lungs are
things.
breathing.
Like
Oh,
it's
man,
fine,
I'm
man.
not
You've done like 15 minutes. That's enough. Like just get off now. It's cool. Just quit. Just give it up. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And then there's this other little bit just going. Nah, go on. You can just a little bit more. You can do it
Just
a little
bit more.
And there's nothing massive. Just in your head, it's just going just a little bit. Just make it to the minute. Just make it to 16 minutes, and then get there, and then we'll sort it from there. And then you get to 16, and it's going. You've got more. You can do a bit more. Go on. Another 30 seconds. Just bang out 30 seconds. That's it. That's all I'm asking for you. 30 seconds. Just get there. Get there. 16:30 comes, and you're like,
I can still go.
hang on, I've still got a bit more. And it's going, yeah, just keep going. I know your legs hurt. I know. But just a touch more. You're only there. You've got 10 seconds left. Boom. And I think that's the bit of like, that relates to so much of being able to almost argue with yourself to be comfortable.
Push yourself.
Yeah.
I think with the training, you learn that as well about yourself, though.
I think that's what people enjoy about training so much.
You learn that you can get to that place and you can keep going, and people think that when you get fitter, it like gets easier.
No,
but you just push harder.
Yeah,
And
like
you were
the
always.
Sorry, go on.
You were always on that edge of like. It doesn't really matter on your fitness. It's always just a mental. Can you go?
Yeah, like the most. Like what's the word? Like buzzed up and borderline arrogant I feel is when I finish my late night runs, and like I get off that treadmill and I've been on there for I don't know 25 minutes, half an hour, whatever, doing sprints and whatever I've been doing. I'm breathing hard as fuck. I'm shattered. I'm sweating. It's like 10:30, 11 at night, and I get off and I go, yeah. Like I've done it, and I realise this because all my like. So I'll usually do it, and then I'll do a picture in front of the mirror or whatever. And my Instagram captions to go with them are always pretty borderline arrogant of like...
Yeah, like competitive.
Yeah, like, fuck you, I'm training. I just smashed out a half an hour run. What are you doing? You're in bed. Shut up. Don't talk to me.
Too right. Too right, yeah.
And for about 5 minutes, that's the kind of mood or like place I'm in. I'm in the gym on my own. No one's there. I'm just fucking stomping around like I'm Barry Big Bollocks. And then it's that sense of self-achievement. Like, you... tested yourself and you won, and you there's no trophy, there's no prize, no one's clapping, but you won. You got the win, and only you know it, and you're the only person there.
Yeah,
but it still feels like a real win, like a real life win.
Do you know David Goggins?
Yeah.
If people haven't seen David Goggins, check him out. But he's like the big guy on getting to that point where you feel like you need to quit and just pushing and just seeing that. I mean, there's a thing in the military where they say when you think you're done, you're at 40%.
That's mental, isn't it?
That's nuts. When you think you're done, you're at 40%.
But we've spoke about this before, haven't we? About like how much actual capacity of our body you use or something. I can't remember.
Well, so I have this thought experiment, and I don't wish it never happens, but I think, you know, when you do a workout and you push to your brink, so you feel like I'm done, like I gave everything I could, I'm gone. I think if I'd done the same workout, let's say I did the workout and it was 10 minutes and I was fucked, nothing left, everything's gone.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
If I was doing that workout and somebody said to me, right, you've got to do 30 minutes of that. If you don't, I'm going to kill your family. You'd do 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I would get 30 minutes done. I don't give a fuck. I would do it. I'd find a way.
Yeah.
So that makes you think like, well, hang on a minute.
How much? There's got to be more in the tank, kind of thing.
Well, there has to be, but I don't know if you could unlock that. And again, I don't ever want to be in that position, but I don't know if you can unlock that without the
added motivation of it.
That's like fight or flight, though, isn't it? Could you ever run as fast as if you were running from like for your life?
Yeah, true. But I've never. Have I ever? No, I don't think I have. I was gonna think if I've ever been in a situation where I felt like my adrenaline is like I guess boxing, but that almost that's different.
It's not truly because it's a
controlled.
Organised,
I know the outcomes kind of thing. Yeah. So no, I've not ever been in them situations, but I am with you on the fact that I always think that there's got to be more in the tank kind of thing.
Okay, so where it would be is military. That is fight or flight, isn't it?
True. Actually.
For those people that are like in war zones or whatever, and they're literally like fighting for their lives.
But then you always do hear stories like that, don't you? Like someone's been shot like 5 times and they're still.
I could never do it.
Managed to walk and grab their mate and pick them up and drag them back and whatever else. Like
that's one thing I'm not is like brave like that. Just like this sounds insulting, but I don't mean it insultingly at all. But borderline crazy.
Yeah, borderline. Just like I know because it doesn't click in your head. I know what you mean. Yeah. It doesn't make sense almost. Like why would you do that? Like
I appreciate those people so much, obviously. And like they're amazing, and we obviously wouldn't be sat here without them. But I wouldn't do it.
But that's like I think that same thing is like a U-turn. But I think that with like nurses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I could not deal with like not even dealing with makes it actually sound bad. But I mean like I couldn't do a job where I have to manage or look after like dying old people all the time, or like clearing up someone that's been shitting on the floor and stuff like that and things. Like I haven't got that in me. I haven't got that level of, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a form like of care or whatever, but I just haven't got that. I couldn't do a job like that.
Where I mean that's like emotionally draining, isn't it? To see those people like just ending their lives, not the right word, but they are finishing
at the back end.
You know they're finishing. I'm without getting too deep, I guess we'll kind of finish nearer here. Is my grandparents now are like getting old, you know?
Yeah.
And in the last like 4 or 5 years, they've just got very old. And that's odd.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird.
You remember them from however long ago when they were.
I remember playing football with my grandma and granddad.
Yeah. Where they were more, I won't say mobile, but they were just more active or whatever and did more. And now you've come back a few years later and you've gone, shit, hang on. Like.
Yeah, it's just a sad like turn.
Realisation kind of thing of like, oh shit, like.
I don't know really how it happens because David Attenborough, he's like infinite
95,
age.
Fucking climbing mountains, still playing with lions or whatever he's doing.
I think the key is staying active.
I think it is
when we're old. And we're doing our podcast in...
Still gymming.
When we're doing our podcast in 2100...
What the fuck is it?
I'd be 108.
We're not going to be 108,
Yeah, I'm going to go to 108. So when I... Right, let me look at the camera. When I do my podcast in 2100, I'll be 108 years old. And I'll still be active.
No, you won't.
Yeah, I will. Let's finish on that. If we make it to 2100, that'd be incredible. You won't, because you'll be a vegetable.
Oh, mate, I'll be fucked. I'll be surprised if I make it to like.
Don't say 50.
Oh, that was the number in my
50?
head. That was the number in my head.
You better make it past
maybe
50.
60.
You're not going to be old 60. And like have dogs and shit.
Does that like that bit of that half of life always like? I always wonder so
those
much.
are the best years. You have like grandkids and shit. You have grandkids and dogs. And you'll be able to feed your grandkids sweets. How great is that? And pocket money.
Fucking weirdo, mate.
And you can leave a fat lump sum for your grandkids. You'd be like,
Yeah, but like
the next 4 generations of Wardley are sorted.
Wardley. I always wonder what I'm gonna be like as like that.
Oh,
when you hit them stages
You'll
of
be
like
sick.
life.
We'll be sick.
Like one, what would I be like as a dad? What would I be like as like just an uncle? What am I gonna be like as like a granddad at Christmas Day? Like, am I gonna be funny? Am I gonna be stupid?
Oh, you'll be funny. I can't wait. My funniest thing, I just hope I'm there. Like, I don't want anything from you. Actually, no, I want one thing from you in your life. I want to be there at the moment that your 16-year-old daughter brings home a big black fella. And you're just going to have to stand there and just...
No, they won't. They won't do it. Because
She will.
No, because she'll
She
be
will.
the daughter of Fabio Wardley.
You're going to have
no
3
one's going to
girls.
want to... No,
You're going to have 3 girls.
I am cursed to have girls.
When the first one brings back a big fella, I just want to be there.
I won't have it.
It's going to be like Bad Boys 2.
Yeah. No, because I won't. They won't have it because they'll know that that's...
What do you mean?
Like, there was a girl at my school who everyone knew her dad double
Was a killer.
double hard. He was fucking nuts. Yeah? And she was fit as well. No one would go near her.
No one go near her.
What for? Why do I need to die for? I'm not doing that. It's not worth it. What are you on about?
You're fit, but you're not worth my life.
Not fit. You're not fucking worth it, mate. Come round your house to meet him.
That is crazy.
I'm not doing that. I've had that in the past as well. I had ex-girlfriends when I was young, like still in school days.
Yeah.
Went round. I went round their house. Innocent kid, whatever. Met her dad for the first time.
Innocent kid or whatever.
No, but
Innocent, my
nah,
arsehole.
but I was
No
then.
14-year-old
No.
kid is innocent.
I was like 16 maybe.
Definitely not innocent.
All right,
then.
whatever. But the point is, I'd gone there to meet the family and like do whatever. And immediately we go through the door.
Shake some hands.
Yeah. What?
Shake some hands.
Oh, shake some hands. Yeah, shake hands. Go through the door, say hello to the dad. The daughter goes off to the right, and I'm now about to like follow her because I think she's going to go to the kitchen. So I've just walked in the door, I've said hello to the dad, and I'm going to follow her to whatever. And he goes, "Come with me." And I've gone what? And she kind of like, she just walks off because she kind of knew like this was going to be a thing. She knows her dad, so she knew like what she was going to do. He went, "Yeah, just come with me." Oh, fuck. So I've gone, all right, no worries.
Oh.
And then he takes me, I can't remember, like some other part of the house, basically away from then. And he opens up this cabinet and there's about like 5 guns in there. And I was like, oh my God. He was like, "So this is my gun collection." I went, "Oh, fucking hell, mate." I went, "Oh, shit." And he got them out, like they were like shotguns, like rifles and stuff, like hunting guns or whatever. But like, he was getting them out. So, "Do you want to hold them? Ever hold a gun before? Ever shot anything before?" I was like, "Mate, leave me alone, yeah? I'm about 15. Like, what are you on?"
That's good. I'm good.
And he just made like that impression from me straight away. But after that, he was cool, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
What?
that's the type of dad I'll be.
This sounds really old-fashioned, but it just makes sense in my head. You can never be, I don't think, like really close with a girl's dad just because like he's there to protect her, and until you've taken that role over, he's always gonna have like a weird, "This is my baby," you know? Like, hang on a minute, like
But I don't think that would ever go.
I think once you like commit to a certain point and you start taking over that role and you're like protecting, that goes a little bit.
I don't think it
Just
does.
in my head, that's like a.
I just think a dad and a daughter thing. I just don't think that would ever go. I don't think no dad would ever give that role over fully.
Okay, so I, for example, know somebody whose dad was like dying. She was older. Her dad was dying, and her dad said to her husband, "It's like your job now, like to look after my daughter."
Yeah, but that's different.
But he wasn't dead. He was just past the point of being able to look after her.
Yeah, so
So at that point,
might as well be dead then.
Right, should we end there then, shall we? Yeah. Right, let's end it there.
You're just gonna end it on that.
Well, you might as well be dead then.
Fucking
You know what I
dick.
mean?